Scary.
They're all right here.
Love it.
And you have all this fish here.
Are you getting the fish?
And with that, John, what are we talking about today?
Well, today we are giving you the 5 reasons why Aulani in Hawaii makes for the best honeymoon destination.
And just as a side note, Winnie is now playing on the floor with her wooden Winnie the Pooh block, so we apologize for the background noise, but to all my fellow moms and dads out there, I know you feel us, so just bear with us.
So KJ, why don't you kick it off with number 1?
The first reason why we loved honeymooning in Aulani is because they have adult-only areas. So even though we're parents now, back then when it was just the 2 of us, we liked that it had adult-only areas. Or even if you are a couple that has children but you're going without your kids, or you are going with kids and you put them in the daycare, because they do have a daycare there, it is nice to have those adult-only spots. Again, especially if you're going on your honeymoon. So they have 2 pool areas. There is an adult-only pool, and the nice thing about this is that it's on the edge of the property. So you're really separated from everybody else. You have your own pool area and your own bar area, which is really great because you can order food, you can order drinks, and they bring them right over to you, or you can eat them at the bar. So that's really nice that you have that area.
And that area is surprisingly quiet. As KJ said, it is on the edge of the property. We had no issue being able to just lounge poolside, read our books, relax, take an afternoon doze if you want. It was really an inviting, serene, quiet area.
It did rain though one of the days that we were there, and I have some footage of that.
Raining pretty hard, and John and I are under the umbrella, and I'm under these towels, and we're just gonna hang here and hopefully the rain passes.
It poured, but the nice thing is they do have these really big umbrellas, so John and I were hanging out under there while the storm passed, but it still was really nice, and it's kind of in a bit of a shaded area. There's plenty of sun, but where we were, it was in a shaded area. I don't like to get too much sun, so you can usually find me under an umbrella with tons of sunscreen on, or like I said, there was, what?
We don't like to get sun?
It's also March, John, in New York, so.
One of the, KJ mentioned that it's a place to go if you have younger kids and you put them in daycare, but it also could be a place to go if you have older kids and they can kind of peruse the property on their own, and you and the spouse want to just get away from the hustle and bustle. Because remember, it still is a Disney property, so it is very family friendly. So there's going to be a lot of families, there's going to be a lot of kids. It's nice that Aulani has these adult-only areas set aside.
There's also I think they call it a lagoon, but it's basically 2 big hot tubs, like 2 big hot tub pools that are right smack in the middle of the property. So they have those right smack in the middle of the property in the pool area. They are so beautiful, and when I say there's 2, they actually are like stacked sort of side by side, like kind of like steps. And it's really nice. John and I would pull up a lounge chair there. They have lounge chairs by there as well. We don't like to be in the hot tub for too long, so we would kind of hang out there for maybe a half hour at a time, and you overlook the beautiful beach lagoon area, and it was really nice. And again, no kids allowed, so I think you have to be 18 or over. But really, for the most part, you either have like couples or people with like younger kids. We didn't see, at least when we went, there weren't too many teenagers or like young folks, like between like the 18 and like 25-ish kind of area. So if you want that privacy, if you want the adults only, you can find that on property. But again, to John's point, it really is a family resort, so just keep that in mind. But to escape the little ones, you can have that romantic time to yourselves.
Right, because one of the other relaxing parts of the property is the lazy river, or at least it should be. But the lazy river can become very unrelaxing very quickly, because kids are not floating, they're swimming or diving or whatever, which is fine, you know, they're having fun.
Right.
You know,
it was more of like, we wanted to float along, but the kids were running. past us.
Running,
which
swimming.
again is fine because we were like, when we have kids and we bring kids here, like we want them to be able to do what they want.
Right.
So no offense to any kids, but
it wasn't necessarily the relaxing, lazy river that, you know, we were going to kind of float side by side and just kind of let the rays hit us and the breeze hit us. So yes, the escape to the adult-only area was needed at times.
If you're on your honeymoon, check out those adult-only areas.
Next on our list, we were just talking about how it is a Disney resort and there are families. But with it being a Disney resort, you also have that undeniable Disney magic. And that includes character meet and greets, it includes little touches of Disney everywhere, everything that inspires the resorts in Florida, California, and across to the other continents is right there in Hawaii. It feels so authentically Hawaiian, but with that touch of Disney that we all love.
Now, at the time of filming, they are doing character meet and greets. From what we understand, they're on the stage where they do the luau, so the characters are behind you and you can stand and pose in front of them. A friend of mine said they actually allow you to take down your masks for those pictures. I'm not sure, that's not 100%, just a friend of mine who was looking to go there for his honeymoon with his fiance. He told me that that's what he found out. So
I believe all of the character meet and greets there were costume characters, right? Was there any?
No, Moana. They had Moana.
Oh yeah, Moana.
They also had, which I was really bummed that we didn't get to see, but they had Duffy and Shelly Mae.
Duffy!
Yeah, that's actually where we got Duffy. Our plan was that we wanted to get our first child something special from our honeymoon, so we got Duffy hoping that our first child would bond with Duffy. She didn't, but she bonded with Mickey Mouse, so we really can't complain about that. But that's why you see Duffy in the background of our videos, because it was supposed to be for our firstborn child. Maybe for the next one, maybe that child will bond with Duffy. If not, he's just gonna stay chilling on our bed. But you can meet Duffy, Shelly Mae. Again, they only met on certain days. When we went, it might be a little bit different now. They had Chip and Dale together. They had Stitch, they had Moana, Donald, Daisy, Mickey, Minnie. You could actually meet Mickey and Minnie together.
And beyond the character meet and greets, the food is also Disney inspired. You can get your classic Disney desserts. You know, if you want a Mickey ice cream sandwich, you can get it there. You know, if you want
the Dole Whip.
Yep.
Of course, in Hawaii.
And also the hotel shop is very much like you would find in like the Polynesian at Walt Disney World. It has those kind of inspired. In fact, the shirt I'm wearing, you can see Mickey Mouse surfing. This was bought in the Aulani gift shop.
They had a few gift shops. They had that one. They had like a fancier one, I guess you could say. It was like less, it was more Hawaiian type themed.
I think the Tommy Bahama stuff is there. The Disney.
It wasn't like Disney, it was more Hawaiian themed. There's also a little gift shop in the area, like by the pools. They have a little gift shop there as well. But in terms of the Disney magic, you could find hidden Mickeys all over the property. They also have a character dining, which we went to on our last day. We did the character breakfast, where you get to meet all the basic characters, Mickey, Minnie, Pluto.
And it's a similar type of buffet style meal that you would find at any of the deluxe resorts.
There was a restaurant called Ama Ama. I'm not sure if it's still there or maybe it's just not open because of the pandemic right now. But that restaurant, at the time that we went, overlooked the water. And when we went there for dinner one night, they gave us a little cake that said congratulations, you know, for your honeymoon. I don't think it said for your honeymoon, it just said congratulations. So just like you might get at some other Disney resorts, they do have that bit of Disney magic. So, you know, the cast members are very accommodating like they are at the Disney parks. So it really has that Disney magic, and we really loved it.
Oh, and one of our other favorite things, if you do get inclement weather, which sometimes pops up in Hawaii, you get sometimes island weather, you can go rent a Disney movie, any of the classics, they have everything, and it's free. You just rent it, and I'll take that. You can just rent them and bring them back to your hotel room and entertain yourself for the next 90 minutes with a Disney classic, right?
So speaking of that, another reason why we think having your honeymoon at Disney Aulani is because of the things that you can do at the resort. Part of the reason we also rented movies, like we saw Coco because we hadn't seen that yet. I think we watched Ant-Man was another movie that we watched that we just hadn't seen. So we also, because of the time difference, we were up so early Hawaiian time, we'd like pop in a movie before we did something and like just watch it in bed. So even if there's not inclement weather or you just have time to kill, that was a great thing. So we got it like the night before and like watched it at like 4 in the morning.
And we were eating dinner at like 5 p.m. every night because 8, 9 p.m. felt like midnight.
Because it was just daylight saving time. It was a 6-hour difference for us, which was really different, you know, big difference than New York. But some of the other things we liked doing, we fed the koi fish, which actually was really cool to like Feed the koi fish. They have those sketching classes that you can find in Disneyland and DCA, or they have it in Animal Kingdom and Art of Animation. So I think we did Stitch.
Yeah, we did. And then we first got hooked on that in DCA, and then we were really excited when we saw that Aulani offered it as well. KJ mentioned the koi fish and the pond. Well, another pond right near there, you can actually hop in with the fish and snorkel. So we did that. The water...
It's not really a pond. It's more of a... It's like a pool, kind of.
Like, all right, it's a pool of fish.
Yeah.
It's got, though, I think it had
It's like a man-made... It's a man-made...
Yeah, it's not... Okay. It's not like of the natural environment of Hawaii. But
it's still
it was
cool.
Really cold. My goodness, that water was cold.
We're still in the midst of this pandemic, though things are starting to look up. Not sure how that will be. I would suggest maybe bringing your own. If you're a Disney cruiser, or just if you think you'll ever snorkel again, you can get them on Amazon for a pretty affordable price. I would suggest doing that, just given this past year. I don't know that I'd want to be sharing the mouthpiece with anybody at the time. Like, it didn't seem like a big deal, but now like everything seems so different.
Yeah,
like I don't think I would do that.
Even at the time, I was thinking to myself, so this has been used by other people. I've never snorkeled before, so I just kind of, but you know, when in Rome, you go with it, and so be it. But you're right. I don't know if I'd be so up for doing that now.
So if you are going, yeah, I would recommend it, especially if you're a Disney cruiser, because I think similarly, once cruising starts up, I don't know if anyone's going to want to rent that equipment. And speaking of renting equipment, they also have an equipment rental right on the beach. So just to give you an idea, when you walk out of the back area of the hotel at Aulani, you walk into the pool area, and right step down from that is the beach area, and that is where you can find the equipment rentals, and you can rent things like snorkels, you can rent the fins to go swimming.
I think they had stuff that you can take into the ocean water as well. Yeah, like a raft or whatever you want to call it. Boogie board maybe.
Yeah, so they had just a different equipment rental, so that's something else you can do. At nighttime they had story time by the campfire, which we went to one night, and it was so hard for us to stay up, but we did. So that was a lot of fun, and they talk about ancient Hawaiian culture. And unfortunately, when John and I went, they did not offer the luau. And actually, they started doing that a couple of months after we had gone. But even though we have not been, we've watched lots of vlogs on them, and would definitely recommend that you check out the luau. And if you're someone that is in that area, because it's part of the hotel where you can face down the courtyard, I don't know what he's doing over here, you actually can see what's going on in the luau from your room. So you may not have a pool view or a beach view, but if you have that view, it's pretty cool.
We spoke about the riding classes that the resort offered. They also offer a morning stretch and yoga out on the lawns. And KJ...
Well, when you say the lawn, it's actually... So it's on the beach, there's the beach, and there's like a lawn right behind it. Yeah. So you're like on the beach.
And you're facing the water. It's usually done around 6, 7 a.m.
It was
just as the sunrise.
Someone's coming up.
And there's stretching, there's yoga.
They're not offered every day. I think it was offered like every other day with the stretch.
It was a rotation. Like if it wasn't offered stretch, then it may be a more high intensity yoga.
Some of those were, so the stretch was complimentary, but the yoga, I believe, was at a price where you had to pay for the yoga.
But it was a lot of fun and kind of put you right in that mood of just wanting to relax, and we were up early anyway, so it just felt like the right thing to do. It gets your day started early. Just kind of roll out of bed, go stretch. And
every day they have a guide, and it lists everything that you can do, from the character meet and greets to if there is a sketch class. They had other things that you could do. I think one of the days you could either it was learn to play the ukulele, or maybe make your own ukulele, but that was more geared towards like families, so we didn't do that. But they had different like arts and crafts projects you could do as well. So like as John said, or like we said, we did the sketch one, but that was it. But they have lots to do.
But that's just everything that the resort has to offer. If you're not familiar with where Aulani is, it is on the island of Oahu. If you're not familiar with the island of Oahu, it is the most populated island in Hawaii. If you always wondered, where's Pearl Harbor in relation to Hawaii? Well, it's on the island of Oahu. Where's Waikiki Beach? It's on the island of Oahu.
Where's the Dole Plantation?
Yeah, the Dole Plantation. Where is the city of Honolulu? That is also on the island of Oahu. There are so many things on the island of Oahu, things that you might not even know that you knew. There's a famous ranch called the Kualoa Ranch. It's not famous by name per se. Maybe some of you know it. But if you've watched shows like Lost, or movies like Godzilla or Jurassic Park, or so many others, the property has been used in all of those movies or television shows, and there's many. They're all listed there. And we got to ride ATV.
So many.
We got to ride ATVs across those acres and acres, thousands of acres of land, up into the hills, up into the mountains, down into the valleys. We probably rode ATVs for like 3 hours.
And if you guys want to know more about Kualoa Ranch, we actually thought about making a video just for that, because if you do honeymoon in Hawaii, even if you don't stay at Aulani, we highly, highly, highly recommend checking out Kualoa Ranch. There's so much to do there. John was getting into it. But if you want to know more about that, let us know in the comments down below, because we would love to do a video just on that. Something else that we would recommend doing is Sea Life Park. Now you can swim with dolphins or do a sea lion experience at a lot of different places. I believe you can do that in Florida or any of the Caribbean islands, but it's something that we really wanted to do in Hawaii. So we did that. We did the dolphin experience. We didn't want to swim with the dolphins. Right. That was an option. We opted to
like kind of pet them as they swam by.
Well, it was more interactive than that, but basically it's like a pool and there were ledges and you sit on the ledge, so you didn't have to be treading water the whole time like you do when you're swimming with dolphins. So that was really cool. And just something really quick about that, we thought we were going to do a full day, but we only needed a half day. And this is something you guys want to know more about. We were thinking maybe we'd do a video on, if you're in Oahu, if you do go to Aulani and are looking to do excursions, we'd go a little bit deeper into what those things are, like the Sea Life Park. And like I said,
Sea Life Park was a good one-stop shop to see dolphins, sea lions, and just experience like things that aquarium would have to offer.
So if you guys want to know more about that, let us know in the comments down below. There's the Dole Plantation. We didn't do that though. We just didn't have time for that. But some other things John mentioned earlier, Waikiki Beach.
Waikiki Beach, which kind of was surprising. It was a really narrow strip of sand and beach.
Oh my god,
very
the beach
populated.
Was so tiny.
Yeah, I was really
like
surprised.
From like here to like the wall, which is like right behind the camera, was so small.
The main street that ran along the beach wasn't that far from the water. Waikiki Beach had a very South Beach type feel to it, or Las Vegas Strip without the beach part of it. That's kind of what the Waikiki area felt like to me. It was very, very commercial.
So now it wasn't really our scene. We were there briefly. We actually we were there to go whale watching, which I did not have the best experience. I've never been seasick. I grew up on Long Island and I've been on so many fishing boats and in horrible, crazy, rocky water and never got sick. But this, I got really sick. We didn't even really, we saw the whale a little bit,
yeah.
But it really depends on the time of year that you go. We went in March.
And if you guys want more detail, we can do another video on that. There's so much also that we didn't do on Oahu. We didn't go hiking up to Diamond Head, which is something that was on our list just like the Dole Plantation was. There's so much on Oahu that you don't, you may think like, oh, I want to go to Maui or Kauai because it's supposed to be so beautiful, but Oahu on its own.
Like the best of both worlds.
Yeah, especially where Aulani is located on Oahu, because it's on an opposite side of the island of where all the hustle and bustle is. It's like you're on another island where Aulani is located. It shares a beach with only 3 hotels, and they're massive hotels. It's the Four Seasons and a Marriott, and there's plenty of space for all. And
well, you're not actually sharing a beach. Each one had their own beach, but you can like walk from beach to beach if you wanted to.
Yeah, they each had their kind of own
like a little alcove
horseshoe kind of beach. And then of course I referenced it earlier. Pearl Harbor. You can't go to Oahu without visiting Pearl Harbor. It was humbling being there. We spent an afternoon there. There's plenty to do there. If you have any history buff in your family or just someone who's just interested in the history of our country or history of World War II, it is a must, and you'll never forget it. It's
incredible. Yeah, it was really, like John said, really humbling to be there, and just an honor really to be there. So another place we would recommend. And again, like I've been saying, like John said, we are planning on doing a video of things to do at Aulani as well as things to do if you're staying at Aulani off property. So be on the lookout for that. And then our 5th and final reason why we think Aulani is such a great honeymoon spot and why we would recommend that you go is because it's in Hawaii, and it is just so breathtakingly beautiful across the entire island. Aulani itself is absolutely stunning. There's so much to look at and see, and it is unlike any place that we've ever been. Now, I haven't been to too many places. I've been to Europe a few times. I've been to the Caribbean. I've been to a lot of places domestically, but this by far was the most beautiful place that I have ever seen. And the thing that I think is really cool is that it's part of the United States. It's part of America. So it's really interesting to see this place, it's its own group of islands, but it's still part of our country, but it just feels like a different country. So it's it's just so beautiful. Like John was mentioning before, Kuloa Ranch, those giant mountains are unlike anything I have ever seen. Riding through them was incredible. You know, the beaches that we saw, the wildlife that you see just like there.
And I like that Disney chose Oahu to put Aulani because of all the islands, it seems to be the easiest to get to. Like I mentioned earlier, it is the most populated of the islands. It does have the international airport of Honolulu. And we were actually able to fly that directly from New York, so you can't beat that. So to be able to go from New York to the Aulani Resort in, you know, 10, 12 hours, pretty good deal.
Well, we hope you guys enjoyed this video. Winnie, it's getting near dinner time. Winnie's getting a little restless. This is the 4th video that we filmed today, which is why we might see Winnie in the same outfit, but we changed because we did. So we gotta go, guys. We gotta feed Winnie.
All right,
but if you guys like this video today, please
give it a thumbs up.
Subscribe if you're new.
Ding that notification bell.
And leave us a comment. Have you been to Aulani? Let us know what you thought of it. Did you love it like we did? Do you recommend it for a honeymoon spot? Did you go with your family? Is it someplace that you would like to go for a honeymoon or just a couple's vacation or a family vacation? Let us know in the comments down below. Winnie's really like, guys.
Time to say bye.
We're seeing you later. So with that, we will see you guys real soon. Bye.
Bye.
See you next time we go to Aulani.
Bye.
Bye.